Hello, welcome back. I think this is episode 25 of the No Excuses podcast. My name's Anne and I live in Worcestershire with my husband Tom and our dog Bertie. If you can hear noise in the background, it's the computer next door, but hopefully it won't spoil your enjoyment of the podcast. I think it's been a couple of weeks since I last spoke to you, which is generally average for me, so welcome back. Hello. I don't appear to have any new viewers, but that's fine, I don't mind. But if you are a new viewer, then you're very welcome to join us, and I hope you stay. And as soon as I've started talking to you, I'm going to slurp some coffee. This is Little's vanilla coffee. Comes in quite small jars from Waitrose. It's not cheap, so I buy it when it's on offer because, as I've said before, I'm not a big coffee fan. I like coffee flavoured things, but tea is my usual go-to drink anyway. I've just had some dinner, lunch you might call it. I had some rye Vitas, but not the dark rye that we normally buy, the originals, and I thought they didn't taste it very much. When they first came out, well, over to Britain, I remember I thought it was like the mid-70s. Well, that's when I got introduced to them anyway. I thought they were delicious. But I prefer the dark rye ones now. But I had a little bit of cheese and Aldi's sweet chilli jam with it. It was lovely. And it's not very hot either, considering it's got chunks of chilli in. So if you've never tried it and you like a little bit of... I think I prefer that to chutney. I'm not mad on vinegary things very often. Look at this, 2 minutes in I'm already talking about food. This is very typical of me. Anyway, today we've got some a prize to give away for the Mal that's ended, and I'll talk about that in a moment. We've got things that I've made. We'll talk on the back of that because one of them is part of the Mal prize, and also a finished thing. Well, two actually, because a pair of socks. Is that cheating? Then I've also got what I'm working on at the moment. Oh, and despite what I said last time, we have got some incoming stuff as well. But we'll talk about that very quickly and very quietly at the end, so you don't notice. Oh, I'm drowning in yarn. Isn't it glorious? So what am I wearing, first of all? This is my Sipila jumper by Caitlin Hunter. I'll put all the details below, and you can also have a look on my project page on Ravelry if you're a user of Ravelry. I chose to knit this in 2 yellows and a brown colour. So the brown is It Might Come in Handy by Aileen, is it, of TinCanKnits? And I think she might be called Stuart something now. But I'll look it up and I'll put it down below. So that's the brown, and it's a lovely sort of tonal. You can see the tones. The lighting's not too bad, although I'm still a bit sort of light and dark. But one day I might buy a light for the podcast. And then I've got 2 yellows. The darker yellow here is also TinCanKnits, and that's You'll Take a Dram. And those were 2 of her granddad, that were named after her granddad, who she'd lost fairly recently before she dyed the yarns. And this lovely speckled yellow, if you can see it, is The Surface of the Sun by Noodle Soup Yarns. And although I don't know if I've actually worn this out, this jumper, because obviously we haven't been going out very much with COVID and stuff last 18 months. But it's so light to wear. It's only 380 grams, for even little fat me. It's very, very soft. It's BFL sock, and yeah, I added a few stripes and zigzags to the bottom with a slip stitch because I wanted to use a bit more of the yellow to make it more like I was a little bumblebee, very elegantly. But yeah, I really like this, and I will get more wear out of it this winter, knowing that it's lightweight. It's not going to turn into a house jumper because I think it's a bit too pretty for that. But yeah, I think, and it's perfect for this time of year when you want something lightweight to put on, nothing too warm or thick. So yeah, this is the Sipila by Caitlin Hunter. And I quite enjoyed doing it. I mastered. When do I ever master anything, you know, apart from talking? Two-handed knitting. I did quite well on this. So I practiced it and it worked quite well because the needles weren't too big. So yeah, I'd recommend the pattern. I quite like Caitlin's patterns. But then I've got about 3 or 4 of them in my library. And I don't know whether I've already run out of colour work options that I want to do. So we'll see. We'll see. I quite enjoy doing colour work. How many colour work jumpers do I need? And I've also got some Jen Steingas ones that I really like as well in my, should call it a selection of patterns. And I need to make at least one of those because I really like those as well. So there we go. That's what I'm wearing. That took a while, didn't it? Yeah, so let's talk about the mals. At the moment we've got 2 mals going. We have got the jump along, which will run till the 14th of February next year, and that is any adult sized garment, cardi, pullover, jumper, whatever you want to call it, with sleeves. And I'm not specifying the length of sleeves because if you're in the southern hemisphere and you want to knit yourself a nice cotton top for the summer, then that will count. Okay. So yes, please enter. There's plenty of things, and I will make sure there's some nice prizes at the end of it. Now the other mal is a seasonal mal, and we've gone now from summer. Summer ended at the end of September, and we're now in October. We're in the last 3 months of the year, and we're officially from about the 21st to the 22nd of September into autumn. So we're in the autumn phase of the seasonal mal, and this will be the last phase because I didn't start podcasting or start the mal until sort of early spring. It's just a name, isn't it? So anything autumn related, this would be a fabulous entry, for instance, because I consider this to be fairly autumnal colours, don't you? And that will run until the 31st of December. They are both on Ravelry, and you can enter on Instagram. There is a hashtag down below, or you can enter via Gmail, my Gmail, which is down below as well. All links to anywhere. And if none of that makes sense, contact me somehow. Vulcan Mind Meld, whatever. You know, if you're struggling with Ravelry, and I will do some more tutorials once I get a bit more organised, then yeah, contact me. Because we had quite a few entries to the last phase, and the last phase was a summer mal, and I had I think it was 46 entries, which I was quite pleased about, really. I think that's great, because I'm only a small podcast here, aren't we? We're only a small community. I don't want to keep trying to talk posh. I think it's the coffee making me a bit. Yes, so I drew a winner using a random number picker off Google, and the winner goes by the name of Michelle UK, which will appear magically down below here. Michelle, get in contact with me, and if I don't hear from you, I will contact you via Ravelry, and I will endeavour to put a picture up of what Michelle made. So congratulations, Michelle, and I will show you what you will win. Now, normally I like to coordinate my prizes, but on this occasion they're not coordinated, and unfortunately I couldn't find anything appropriate to. So first thing you'll win is this large bag. It's batik, it's lined, and it's quite wonky in terms of, I'll tell you a tale. my mum gave me some fabric, this stuff here, and I thought it went reasonably well with the batik. Now I cut the batik out and the lining for them to be standalone as a bag, and then I went in my fabric box that I've seen the wardrobe, and I remembered this. So this is the bottom, and it's also the base inside, because I double because I'd already cut the batik and the lining. But this is cotton, the batik, but I think this might be a polyester or polyester mix. I think it was an old curtain, and I do like to reuse things. They're perfectly clean. It handles okay when sewing, that's not a problem. It frays a bit, so I've had to zigzag everything. But it did play up a little bit with lining up seams. So I'm not going to go around and point them out to you, because I think it's important that, you know, we embrace the good and the bad in our craft. And like I always say, they're called wonky bags for a reason, but this is fully functional. And I think it will hold 4 or 5 skeins. And I deliberately haven't padded it, because I've got a batik bag that I made that isn't padded, and I use it a lot because it's squishy and I can shove it into small spaces. Like, for instance, if you've got a handbag and you're taking your knitting out, and you've got several colours with you, for instance, then this would be ideal. Or this would be ideal to sit, because it'll still fold down when you've got things in it, to roll it down, and you could sit it on the side. But I didn't want it to make it any more bulky because it's such a big bag. So there we go. And I made 2 of these. So one of them is going to be sent to a friend who likes project bags. So there we go. My usual drawstring. It's got my Handmade inside. Hopefully that'll look the right way around when I'm thinking. And that's the bag. Okay, Michelle? And then, just a bit about, it's not coordinated, but it's gorgeous. Did you see Kaz the other day, her short video? I don't know if she's podcasted yet, I need to go and check, but yeah, a very heartfelt clip from her. And I've been talking to her recently. Can't say she's getting there, because she's never going to get there, is she? She's always going to miss David Animal, like, you know. But I found it much easier to relate to what she was going through after losing Dad, you know. So it's like a never-ending mode a bit, I think. Anyway, so the yarn was kindly donated by Kaz. This is the yarn that's going into the giveaway prize to Michelle, and it is a sock set. Except it's a generous sock set, because that is 100 grams of 85 superwash merino, 85%, and 15% nylon, and this is 75-25 mini. Now, this would make gorgeous socks, long socks, because there's so much there. Or you could use a bit for blankets and things that you had left over, or to make a nice shawl together, I think. You've got 120 grams, so that's really, really pretty. And just to show you, it's a green base. That looks a bit grey. It's not, it's green, with yellows and speckly speckles, which I love, and it's a high twist, so it is perfect for socks. And I will shove a few more things inside there for you, Michelle. So please get in touch. Congratulations, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. So while we're on the subject of me making things, I made that bag, and I made another one that's identical, so I won't show you that. On the same day, I made one and then the other. But the day previous to that, I made this, which again is batik, and I'm trying to get through my batik. Now, the first thing you'll see is that my label is wonky. Oh, and you know, I mean, I've sewn it on with the machine this time, and it was all lined up really nicely, but you know, nobody's going to notice. I mean, I shouldn't have pointed out to you. But again, you know, all my bags are structurally sound. This one's got a little bit of padding on it. It's just, like I'd say this was sock bag, and it's got my attempt at the box bottom again. Yeah, actually, the seams line up fairly well. Look at that. Wow, that's excellent for me. Look at that. Oh, this down here, just what I'm talking about here, where this comes up here. I've got to show you because I'm very proud of the fact that I can do that. So yeah, this has got just a ribbon drawstring, and obviously it'll stand up on its own. It's slightly narrow at the bottom because I do everything by eye. I don't do a lot of measuring. And you say, well, and maybe that's why your things are wonky. And I say, well, I don't really mind that because it's, what's the word that people use? Organic. It's not, well, it was cotton, most of it. So yeah, those are the prize. And I will, prize. Now the other little bag may form a prize to something else, or I may start using it myself. I have started these socks, so that's going to be in the next section. Now I think I'm going to clear my decks, and I'll see you in a minute, and we'll then go on to what I've been working on. I'll see you in a minute. Hello, right, let me show you what I am working on at the moment, and it is a sock. Da-da-da-da. So this is a 64, let's say, inch stitch sock, and I've done contrast cuff and heel, and I'll do the toe as well, and I'm just working on that using my Knit Pro Zings. And it's going all right. It's growing slowly. I put it away in the bag because I was doing something else, and then I thought, no, let's get these, because these are for the West Midlands Ambulance Service appeal that Ange from Yarn and Yarns is helping to coordinate. I need to get these finished because I want to get them off in the post to her. And the yarn is called Great Firm, and it's Opal, part of their 25 years range, because they've got so many ranges, haven't they? I'm not, you know, I didn't appreciate how many options Opal offer. And this is the pair that I've finished. So these are giant men's socks. I think I showed you one last time, and I think I'm quite pleased. I'm quite pleased that I've managed to more or less line up the patterns on there, so they are as near to identical with the stripes as I can. I don't know what I'm going to do with this pair. Now, last time I said that I was panicking a bit because I thought that the first one, I didn't bother weighing anything. I thought the first one was so big, I was never ever going to get another sock out of the other one, but I did. I just about managed to get both socks out of the one ball, so I didn't really need to order any yarn. Any more yarn, but now I've ordered it, I will use it and send it to Ange. And I've got another different colourway as well, which is a greeny colour that I might get on with. But I've written a list of things I want to do before Christmas, and I've got quite a few things. I need to get on with them, you know. So yeah, I'm pleased with those. Once I've finished all of them, I'll give them a wash, and then I'll pop them in the post. And really, that's all I've been doing, because I made the bags. I keep thinking about things and what I can make, and etc. And then very quickly, I'll just show you. This small selection here shows you all the colours of the crochet blanket that I'm making for our bed, including this one, which is lace. It's not a bad representation. It's blowing out a little bit. It's almost like a cream, but not quite. Like a dirty cream. So yeah, so that'll be the border. I'm thinking that I will go round each one of those with this, and then I'll join them up. And I'm not really bothered if I have to order a bit more. I'm not bothered about dye lots because it's a blanket at the end of the day. and Bertie's going to be sleeping on it. So yeah. So that's all I've been working on, really. You know, I like to talk about my plans because it gives me great pleasure to make lists of things I want to do. I get a kick out of it, I really do. And then I like ticking things off as well, and then I add more in, and then other things get shunted to the back. You know what I mean? So I need to get the socks finished first. I told my cousin that I would make her a shawl, but that's going to have to wait now until the new year, so I can move that further back on my list. It was in the book that I started, which I am going to update this week. I've got something for Tom to do, so I might talk about that on Instagram, because sometimes he watches my podcasts, don't you, darling? And I've got my mother-in-law's Christmas cardie to do, and I took that out. I think I told you last time. I just ripped out what I'd done. I got up nearly to the armholes on the back, and it looked like it was going to measure 48 inches, and she only needs it to be 40 inches round, and even that is loose on her. So I've gone on to Wool Warehouse and I've just bought a king cole pattern, because I know the format, I know it'll work, and it goes down lower in size than the one that I bought that was free on Ravelry. So yeah, I needed to lose a fair few inches on that. I need to watch my stitch count. I think the needles I was using were fine. I am a loose knitter, but I'm not going to measure gauge or anything. I'm just going to make sure I'll measure it, because it's acrylic. I don't know whether the gauge will work, whether it will give a bit more, or. But she basically wants it to do a housework in, a bit like my house jumpers, you know, something she can pop on every day. She doesn't have to worry about hand washing. She can shove it in the machine, and yeah, it's what she's asked for this year. And what else have I got planned for? I'd still need to do a sewing mat for underneath my sewing machine, but again, that can wait now until after Christmas. And yeah, so I've got two things. And the thing that I'm really looking forward to is knitting myself another jumper. I've swapped my winter clothes around with my summer clothes, because I was starting to get a bit cool, and I needed to get access to my trousers that are a bit more stretchy, so they're easier for me to put on and off than my linen ones. And you know, I've hardly worn any of my linen trousers this year, and I've got quite a few pairs, but they're not going anywhere. You know, they'll last. They're in one of these IKEA zip-up fabric things. I've got a few of those. We've got these IKEA wardrobes that you can see, the mirror ones. So they fit quite nicely into there. So I just swapped my winter, and so I've got access to my winter jumpers, and I've got a fair few. And I'm thinking, well, you know, a bit like the shawls, do I need any more? And then I look at my stash and I think, well, you've got to use it on something. And yes, I do. And I do wear my clothes out, probably a bit quicker than other people. On Wednesday, I had my hair cut. You can probably tell. My fringe is a bit short because I pushed it backwards. But I wore my Ishnana by Isolde Tegan. It's a beautiful green cardigan, and it's made out of Tamar by Blacker. And then yesterday or the day before, they sent me an email saying it was back in stock, and it's in DK and 4-ply. And I am so tempted, because that jumper, that cardigan, is wearing quite well for me, because it's made out of like luster yarns. It's got longer locks in it, and I think, although it pills a little bit on the boobs and the underarm, which everything does with me, I'm thinking it'd be nice to, they've got some beautiful colours. But I stopped myself, you know. I could have said to Tom I'll have it for birthday, but you know, I've got to stop somewhere, and I've got some gorgeous stuff in the stash. But then you'll call me a big fibber in a minute, because I'll show you what I've acquired. So yeah, so I'm sort of making plans, and I know there's things I've got to do. I don't have to do the blanket, for instance, but I'd like to do it. But I think that can probably, I might put that on the back boiler for a little bit, and perhaps say just do some at the weekend, because I want to be able to sit and knit and do cascade in the evening now while I'm watching telly, because it's simple, and I should get that done in a couple of weeks if it's chunky. And then in the day I want to start the secret project when the yarn comes. I don't want to say that because you can't hear me. And yeah, I want to start on the orchid jumper. I am looking at that dropped soft tweed, and I'm itching to get my fingers on it. Bear in mind, it's probably the cheapest yarn in jumper quantity that I've got at the moment. But it's down here, it's not in the loft, so I'm thinking, yeah, let's do that, get on with it. And I quite fancy a silver grey jumper. I asked the hairdresser about colouring my hair. Well, my friend was talking about it, that I go with. And I said, I'd love a bit of colour on my hair. Not necessarily colour, although I think a lilac would be nice, just a hint. And she said, get one of those mousses, you say. And I was looking on Superdrug. Tangent alert, by the way. Should have given one at the beginning. And they've got a semi-permanent silver. Not Superdrug's own, it's a brand. And I put it in my basket yesterday when I was doing an online order. So I might do that. And she said it will only take it on your grey anyway. So I might have a go at that. Might make me a bit more, might just highlight it a little bit. That's what people have said, it doesn't change your colour a lot because it's not got any bleach in it. So if it's not got any bleach in it, then it won't, strip your hair. How did I talk about my hair from? Yeah. My brain does work like that. Boingy, 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 boing. My brain pronks like an antelope. I quite like that verb, to pronk. When they go boingy, boingy, boing. Don't think they say the same about a kangaroo. Oh, shut up, Anne. Do you do that? You start off with one subject in your head and you go all the way to other realm almost. And then you think, how did I get here? And you try and work yourself back again. Right, we're going to pause again, and I'm going to show you what I have. Should we say collected rather than bought? Does it sound better? Okay. Hello, back again. So I just thought I was recording and I was talking to myself. So let's talk about incoming, shall we? First of all, I've got the Nature Club from Emily of Rhapsodye Dye Works. Is it Rhapsodye Dye Works? I think what I call it that. Rhapsodye Yarns and Notions, sorry. And this is a lovely, it's got black speckles on it, especially that end. And it's not as grey as that, it's a bit more sea greeny in real life, although it's still a blue. And that's nice, it's a bit tonal, very nice. And it's called the Holly Blue Butterfly. And then with it came a butterfly pouch, zipped one. And inside, because, I always say that Emily gives very good value for money, it came with, I won't get them all out of the packet, but 6 beautiful wooden butterfly buttons. So all different colours. Pretty. And temporary tattoos. Aha! I've never worn anything like that before. Am I going to use them? I'm 61 soon. You bet I am. I am wearing those for certain. I've never been shy about dressing up. And for me, I don't want people coming up to me going, oh, no, they can, but I just like being silly. I missed tenor this week. I was playing up, so the next tenor, I should be going to celebrate my birthday, and I should be wearing the tattoos. One there, do you think? One there. Anyway, so that was the Nature Club. I think I showed you ombres last time, but the other club I'm part of is Telling Yarns, and if I can show you, this is the box that's come in, and I'm going to do a live unboxing on it. All I've done, I haven't looked in, all I've done here is I've slit the tape that's around the edge. So this is the Hogwarts Chamber of Secrets. It's month 2 of 6, so you know roughly what you're going to get. And I think this one is called Ginny. So let's open her up. Wow, she's pretty. Yeah, this is Ginny. Sorry, nearly dropped the box. Ginny is a soft pinky. It's more brown on the screen than on the screen. That's showing up a little bit more pink. It's not as purple as that. So let me just chuck this elegantly over here. What I did, I got the first month out because the idea is they work as a gradient. And actually, that's quite a big difference to what it looks like on the merino photographs that she's got on the screens. But they still tone nicely together. And I think this is called British 4-ply. So it's not the superwash merino. It's a non-superwash. What should it say? Oh, it's British 4-ply, 50% Exmoor Blueface, 30% Blueface Leicester, and 20% Wensleydale. And it's spun by John Arban for her. So, you know, they tone together nicely. I wouldn't say they lead from one to another, but then I've got to look at the other colours, haven't I? Because, you know, I like a stripe, but these are all going to be one big jumper when they come. 600 grams. I'll be way down. But yeah, so that's the Telling Yarns one. And I was watching Yorkshire Yarn Fest last weekend, and I was liking some of the things, as you do. And it's always dangerous for me to watch. And I went, oh, that's nice. And Tom was going, what are you doing? You're looking at yarn. I said, yes. Well, buy yourself some. I said, no, I'm not going to buy myself some because I don't need any. And he's like, when does need matter? I said, but I've said I won't buy any more yarn. And I told the viewers that. I said on my podcast, we're making a rule, no more yarn. So I bought this. I bought 2. This is, actually, it's not a bad representation. It's a bit emeraldy green, more emerald than it looks on the photographs on the website. But it's going to go with other greens that I've bought. And this is Emma from Yarnworthy. That's her name. And this is called Garden Party, I think. And it's BFL, of course. BFL 4-ply. Yeah, Garden Party. But look at that. Wow. How can you not want to buy that? Hello, bird. You come to see me? Hello. I got no food. Oh. Look at that. It has got ochre, red, lime, emerald, aqua in it. It's gorgeous. And I looked at it and looked at it and looked at it, and because it was on sale, I decided that there were 2 left. I think it was part of a previous festival she'd died for. I thought, no, I'll just take those off your hands to make room for other things. So they arrived. I only ordered them last week. They arrived this week, and they will go. I bought a number of green, like a green fade from a about this time last year. Of course, I've not used it yet, and that will go lovely with it. So I might hold them together actually, and then get sprinkles every now and again and splash of colour. So I'm really pleased with that. So those are my purchases, and I think that's quite enough really. I'm so naughty. I've got to stop. And then this morning, Sal in South Wales sent me some minis, and I haven't got them with me. I've left them in the other room, and the door's half closed, so I can't go and get them easily. But yeah, a lovely, lovely bag of minis. We had a chat yesterday, and yeah, so generous. Thank you, Sal. Really, really kind of you to send them to me. I shall make good use of them, as you know I will, eventually. That's the other thing I want to make. I want to make another mitered square blanket, because I like doing them. I don't know who I can give one to. I have to have a think. So yes, and then that's it really to do with the crafting. So I'll now talk a little bit about what I've been doing, and then I'm going to give you a list of 6 podcasts I watch. I watch more than that, many, many more than that. But okay, so what have I been doing? Well, last Tuesday, a week ago Tuesday, it was like 2 days before the funeral. So I had contacted my friend over the weekend and said, look, can we meet for coffee on Tuesday? Because I just wanted to get out of the house and have a wander around. So we just met, and we went into our favourite gift shop. Had a browse, had a coffee. I had the most gorgeous Biscoff cheesecake. Well, we both had the same thing. We shared a sandwich and then had a cake each. It's the way to do it. And that was good to see her. And actually, Denise was the person looking after Bertie for us on the day of the service. Now, she said her husband watches me. Alan, are you watching? Are you watching me? Have you learnt anything yet? It's about knitting. And she's... I am not called spaknits, right? It's barnets. Just to put you right, because I've been told. Anyway, so yes. And then on the Thursday was my dad's service, and that went better than I was expecting. I felt a bit discombobulated, but yeah, and it was nice because afterwards we had a massive cake fest. There were a lot of people there. A lot of people turned up. Some of them had villa scarves on. Well, I say a lot. I mean, for his age, and more than he would have been quite bemused by people turning out for him, you know. But really, because Mum didn't really want a big do in a hotel or anything, so she wanted to be in control of things. So we just had family really back to the house, and a couple of friends, and that was it. And she's going to make sure she sees the other friends that couldn't come back. Tom made the most gorgeous ginger cake that Mum wants the recipe for. Naomi made, my sister-in-law made 2 chocolate cakes. My friend made a lemon drizzle, and what was the other one we had? Somebody did it round the corner from my mum's, made a fruit cake. Yeah. Oh, and my sister made an almond cake. So really, it was like, just eat, have a quick sandwich and you just get the cake, don't you? Dad would have approved. So yeah, it was okay. It was okay. It as well as it can be expected, really. So yes, we're plodding on. Now, my mum went home the following day with my sister back to Oxfordshire to stay a couple of nights. And they asked me if I wanted to join them in Cheltenham on Monday. This Monday just gone, to meet up, do a bit of shopping and eat. And So, yeah, I went to the normal car park that Mum and I have parked in a few times now. And they were there waiting for me, which was nice. So, yeah, we went round Cheltenham. I spent quite a bit of money because I bought an oven, as you do, from John Lewis. I would have bought a microwave as well, but I haven't got the one I wanted in stock. And then I bought, what else did I buy? Oh yeah, I paid for the meal. That we went to somewhere called the Alchemist, which is in the brewery quarter, as they call it in Cheltenham. And I think it's brand new. I've not been there before, but I knew they were developing it. And I think it should have been opened, or it was open just before COVID hit. And then, of course, it's been sort of waiting for people to go. And it was opposite Mowgli. And if you know of Mowgli, that's I think a small Indian food chain. And we were trying to make up our minds which one to go to. And then I opted for the Alchemist eventually, so we'll go to Mowgli next time. But the food was good. And apparently, we didn't experience this because it was lunchtime, so we didn't have cocktails or anything. But I think they serve cocktails in like elaborate theatrical ways. They've got a huge cocktail list. And I think they use like chemistry related, the Alchemist name, chemistry related shaped items to serve your cocktails or present your cocktails in. So I must try that at some point. And I've said to a couple of my friends, we should go and stay really overnight because there's a Premier Inn above the complex, and there's a cinema there. And I think Cheltenham could have done with that really, because it's got some independent shops, but not many. They've got some more if you walk up to Montpellier, but my wheelchair batteries are going at the moment. I need to replace them, which I'll do in the next few weeks, hopefully. Now we're getting out and about a bit more. It wasn't worth me doing it beforehand. COVID's not done my batteries any good. But yeah, that was a really nice day, but I ached afterwards. It rained a couple of times. We didn't really get wet, but it was a damp day. So I was a bit stiff and I was really tired when I got home. Dropped Mum off, came home, And then I went and had my hair cut on Wednesday. Mum popped over in the morning and had my hair cut. Went for coffee with Amanda, who I used to work with, because she picks me up. If I don't go in my power chair, she comes to the car park and gets me out and pushes me in my manual. So, I always meet her. We always have an appointment together because I don't want to be in my power chair if it's raining, because there's no point. I wouldn't bother going around town on my own if it's raining, like I like to do if it's dry. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Not a lot, really. I've got no plans at the moment. We're going to see Mum tomorrow. Me, Tom and Bert. But I've sent my sling, they call it a sling, the seat that you sit on the wheelchair, on the power chair that goes in the car, not this big thing. I've sent it off to a company for them to make a replacement, hopefully. So I'm without it for a few days, and they're hoping to copy it. So once that comes back, I'll get some new batteries and I'll be off. And the oven comes on Monday, and the car gets MOT'd and serviced, or the other way around, on Tuesday. So yeah, it'll be another quiet week. That means I can do lots of knitting. Yay! So it got an itchy nose then. So that's it really, all caught up with me. The colour on this looks a bit weird because the sun's gone way over the top of the house now. Yeah, I might invest in a light. So that's it. I've bought some fabric, but I'll put it in the wardrobe and I'll show you that another time. But again, I don't need any more fabric because that fabric was for bags again. And I just seem to have an obsession with wanting to make bags. Hopefully, at some point, they will improve. Because the one I sent to Emma in New Zealand, I was really pleased with. Yeah. Anyway, I'm blaming that blue material. So, don't do yourself down, girl. It benefits nobody. So, let's finally, I should have read a book. I started a Camilla Lackberg, is it? And I didn't get very far with it, and I've put it down. I need to read the book, so I haven't read a book for a couple of months now. But I did say before that I would list some of the podcasts I watch. Now, this is not extensive, and some of you do podcasts and you watch me. So please don't be offended if you're not included in this list. I just want to mention 6 today that I watch, and not all of them are craft related. So we have Yarn and Yarns, Ange. Ange does spinning, weaving, mainly knitting, crochet, occasionally as well. Yeah, very easy to watch. And then, of course, Leslie of Not Quite Enough Yarn. I've been watching her from the beginning. Love her podcasts. Emma Jones of the Vintage Sewing Box I like. She hasn't been podcasting very much recently, but her work is exquisite, and I want to do some English paper piecing and quilting on a small scale. So I enjoy hers. Selma of Little Big Knits I really enjoy as well. I like her aesthetic. I like what she makes. I like the speed of her. She talks a lot slower than me, for instance. Cass, of course, when she gets back to podcasting, that'll be lovely. I always find Cass's voice is beautiful to listen to, and I enjoy her makes as well. I've bought many a thing after Cass has shown me things on the screen. So, and then 2 that are unrelated. One history one, Reading the Past by Cat Marchant, Dr. Cat Marchant. I watched that. She does a video every Friday. Talks about history. People ask for subject matters and things, and I like her presentation. And then finally, They Got Away with Murder, which is a man talking, and he shows you pictures and clips and photographs from murders that happened in the late sort of 19th century, early 20th century mainly, that he's covered so far. And then he'll give you, not his synopsis on things, but he'll talk about, well, why didn't they do this, or why didn't they do that? And I found that fascinating. I've really, really enjoyed that. So those are the 6 that I watch regularly. There's lots and lots of others, and I will give you a few more next time. In fact, Emma from Yarnworthy has started a podcast, and I must look her up. I find that I come and go with podcasts sometimes because they may change. For instance, I was watching a lady in America that did cross-stitch when I was doing my cross-stitch, which I need to get back out again. Something else to add to my plans, isn't it? And then she started doing quite a bit of quilting, and like big quilting, bed quilts and things. And so I thought, well, I'll give her a rest for a bit, but I keep checking back, and she goes back to cross-stitch. Not that I don't want to watch things about quilting, but I don't want it to be another rabbit hole I go down, particularly. You know what I mean, don't you? You do know what I mean. I know you do. Because we're crafters, and that's what we do. So, I think I've waffled on enough. I will speak to you soon. If you've got any questions, you know where to find me. I am not hiding. And thank you for being with me. Thank you for all your support in the last few weeks. It really has been invaluable, and I've been surprised at what a difference it's made to me. I feel it's relaxed me a lot more knowing that other people have been through similar things, and knowing that people have taken the time to write to you just makes a difference. It's strange. It's not something I would have. When I've written to other people, I don't expect it to have any impact necessarily. And it's taught me to take a bit more care in what I say and do, and make the effort to do that for other people, because I've benefited from all you lovely lot. So don't forget, Michelle, get in contact. or I'll be chasing you on Ravelry. You take care, everybody. I will see you in about 2 weeks' time. Ta-ta for now. Bye.